Today is May 25th. The Yankees lose the series to the Baltimore Orioles. Yanks. Yanks.
Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, steaming hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talkin' Yanks with old John Boy and Jake. Talkin' Yanks with old John Boy and Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks, brought to you by SeatGeek. My name is Jimmy and his name is Jake. BBD in the corner. The Yankees lose. They win the first game. They lose the second in bad fashion, and then they lose the third in kind of just weak fashion. And they lose the series altogether. How are you, Jake?
James Davis, Jim wearing a nice John Boy Media hat, nice T-shirt, hoodie. I think they're giving one of those away at the stadium. I'm okay. It obviously stinks. You lost the series. We're Yankee fans. You don't want to do that. The Orioles are good. I feel like in a lot of Yankee conversations I've had in the last 24 hours, that fact hasn't been stated enough. The way you lose game 2 stinks, and then I don't know. The words that come to mind for this last game are like measly or Weasley or other ly words. That I mean, I don't know. Yankees, this is their first series lost in about 2.5 weeks. Could have easily won it, and I don't know. There's still a lot of parts of this team that aren't complete, that you're looking at some of the guys coming out of the bullpen and some parts of the lineup that, guess what? That's not that's not necessarily the winning formula, even though, if we were sitting here, what was it, 5th inning of game 2, you would be talking about, winning the series, potentially going for a sweep. And now we're on the other side of that, and you focus more on a lot of the problems this team is having, which, there's a good amount to talk about if we want to, Timbo.
Yeah, this game 3 loss, if they had won game 2, you can have a loss where you just tip your cap to Gibson and say, great job. And actually, Clark deserves some credit for, and you find the positives in it. But that game 2 loss is brutal. And then that doesn't allow for this loss in the rubber match. So then you highlight the bad stuff, right? And like you said, there's things to talk about on this third place Yankees team that now is losing the season series to the Orioles.
They're tied now. They're tied now. Yeah. Tonight was sneaky, like a huge game. When we're playing these teams 13 times in a season, I think Yankees could have went up 4-2 on them. Instead it's 3-3. So, depending where the standings land at the end of the year, a lot of baseball left to play, but tonight was a big game, and we, I don't know. There was the things that you thought would give you hope didn't, and then the things that you thought wouldn't give you hope gave you a little. That, I don't know. You lost the series at home to a good team.
Yeah, they should have won. They're better. They're just as good. They're not good. Yennier Cano can't get out. He stinks.
He's okay. Scared, obviously. And that's fine.
Scared. Orioles fans just got mad at me.
First walk to Judge. Yeah. No, I think the Yankees can easily be a better team, but
I'm not tipping my cap to the Orioles are a good team, but I don't think it's just like I don't walk away from the series going like, oh shit. Like the Astros last year, you walked away and you were like, that team is complete. They're better than us. I don't have that feeling at all. Yankees kind of shot themselves in the foot.
If I depicted that in any way, I'm sorry, but they're just as good of a baseball team as the Yankees, if not better right now, that I'm not surprised by this result.
Their lineup is really good, and they work at bats really, really well. They make you grind. The weaknesses on this Yankee team when not hidden, like when the lights are on, or like, oh, I was going to say something fucking awful.
Oh,
I'm not going to say it.
nice,
It's gross.
dude.
Too early in the
When the
episode for
neon
it.
lights are on, you can see the stains
Okay.
pretty well. So like when you have games like game 2, which was 2 things that like we specifically are worried about happened. And then you have game 3 where it's like, oh, if Judge and Rizzo don't hit, we don't score runs. And you're like, those are pretty glaring, man. Like that's brutal.
Yeah, but like you said, if game 2 never happened, we would talk about game 3 totally differently. We would say,
Yeah,
hey,
but it's been masking the badness that is the bottom of the order.
We
Yeah.
wouldn't be talking about it today, but it would still be true.
bottom's thin, and hey, sneaky. I know we're gonna talk about DJ a chunk this episode, but when he's supposed to be top 4, one of the most reliable of the top 4, and when he's not, he's bunting and then not invited to the lineup the next day.
Yeah, I hope he's not battling something, or at least, mentally or whatever, because he needed a day. I hope it's not physical.
Yeah, I don't know. And even if the Yankees might not know either, because they don't have his trust from last year from trying to play through injury. So they might be playing their own game of chicken right now.
I had some silly takes I wanted to share.
Okay, let's hear
And I've been in
them.
a good mood all day because I'm down in Lavalette, but my internet just crapped out, so now I'm frustrated and the Yankees lost. The Yankees have 2 players that I don't have in my face recognition machine on my brain, and I can't beat it, and it's bumming me out. But Ramirez and Rortvedt, you show me a picture of Florial for a split second, I go, that's Florial. Bowers, that got him. I have yet to see Rortvedt's face on screen. Like when I look up and he's batting, I have to check the name. And Nick Ramirez, every time, who? And I'm trying to put them in my brain. It's like when your dad learns your friend's name the wrong way and he just can't get past it ever. And that's been bumming me out about myself.
All right. Yeah, I don't know if that's internal or external.
It's internal. I don't, unless there's anyone else going through the same thing. Like we can
Going through the
support
same
group.
thing with Nick Ramirez. Rortvedt, I've kind of got. But
I'm kind of opposite. I mean, Rortvedt, this is game 2. Was this
second start.
second start? So and a catcher who traditionally wears a mask. I think that is encompassing and makes sense. Ramirez, I'm familiar with, and especially just the whole look on the Yankees. I was surprised. I think he eclipsed 9 innings pitched, and that did surprise me. I thought this was going to be I thought he was at 3.1 or something. So yeah,
He gets run.
he's exceeding it. Hey, he did. Did he do his job tonight? I thought he did. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he had a good series, actually.
0.1.
Yeah, might be.
He's the inverse of Weissert. I realize, he stands the same way, but he's a lefty. Like he stands with his front foot angled, all doing a butt selfie towards the dugout, and then throws that lefty sweeper, which looks like mirror image Weissert sometimes.
Now you know why Weissert has that mustache, so you recognize him.
Yeah, you're not gonna not recognize Weissert. Even sans mustache, I think you just know that face.
From
Got a little Maggie Gyllenhaal to him.
from your local, fireman troop.
Good news, bad news. I have a feeling.
Burn camp.
I have a feeling by tomorrow we don't need to recognize Nick Ramirez after they use him back-to-back days when they told us Vasquez is coming up.
Yeah, but he'll be back.
He'll be back eventually, but you won't recognize him even if you're at the game
No.
and bought a ticket.
It's also
SeatGeek.
a very generic name in the baseball world.
Yeah.
So that's a bummer. And then the other thing, and this is not and I don't know, we're kind of getting into ahead of it. I can save this for the show and make it an award.
Yeah.
So
And Jimmy's Future Awards could be brought to you by SeatGeek, the #1 ticketing app in the world. 28 million downloads. That's a lot. That's pretty good. There's 70,000 events every day. Okay, 28 million downloads, 70,000 events every day. God. And they're #1. A lot of numbers this whole episode. It's a number episode. Download the SeatGeek app. And when you're on there, green dots, that means good. That means you're getting good value. Red means not great value, but maybe if you want to go, I mean, this T Swift concert. And for now, you've got the hookup with us. Use code YANKS, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. $20 off your first purchase with promo code YANKS. Download the app or click the link in the description. You got any housekeeping, Jim?
Stan or Donaldson's playing at AAA.
Yep.
Kind of rushed that dude back. I mean, at this point. And Stanton is where?
Stanton, I think Boone just said in the presser he should start his rehab beginning of next week. So people were hoping for this weekend. Looks like it's going to be beginning of next week.
You got Memorial Day plans.
Yeah.
All right, and then Canely through, so he's coming back. That's exciting.
Believe he's eligible Monday, so just
are we anywhere close to an actual Rodon update? I still think no.
I don't think we've gotten anything. I think they, we saw him throwing in the outfield, and yeah, that's about it.
From there, they said
yeah,
no
and
problems.
I know we've had updates, and he's got the shot, and he's throwing and all this, but like no actual thing that is even able to start a timetable in our heads, like even a fake timetable in our heads. Like we haven't gotten to that nugget.
I think literally the last update was soon they will make a plan for him to throw off a mound.
Hasn't felt pain since injections, could throw off mound soon. So we're still a minute away.
That's so far away.
First mound day is at least a month away, right?
Did you just make a plan to make a plan? Jake's favorite movie about Vegas. Actually, he really likes Las Vegas, too.
Yeah, I mean, don't. Pretty much any movie I watch is about Vegas, except Django. But Vegas didn't really exist yet.
As more of a mental state.
Right.
More places.
All right, you're going to burn game one?
That was a plan on my side. If you're groovy.
Plan to plan.
Let's do it. Game one was fun. It's kind of pointless.
Two of the best teams in the American League. Yankees ace Garrett Cole would throw for the Yanks, while Kyle was totally acting bratish for the Birds. For a couple errant swings, but this ain't golf. Birds up a granny after Frazier, Mullins, and Henderson do their job. Hello, Harry. Bader Hagrid's a homer. 2 Z's, 2 bags for Rizzo. When's this DJ gonna play a hit? And then my song comes on. Tied game after Harry sack fly. Taryn Rod Varvra orders the large cola in a run. Yanks are down 1, but it feels like a mountain versus Bautista. I see your mountain and I raise you a captain. Tie game, Buenos Cantos. Captain to the kid, they're calling it, Jim. Volpe walks it off. Cole to Ron to Wandy to King. Yanks walk it off 6-5 final.
A fun one. What looked like it was going to be a devastating one, and then it was a fun one. They go to extras. The Judge big homer's huge. Bullpen does its job. King 2 innings was really fun. Garrett Cole did not have his stuff. A bad line for Cole.
Worst line of the starters this series. The Birds were up 4-0. This Yankees team, which again, coming up into this point, was arguably the hottest team in baseball. They come back, they tie it at 4. Ron has like the bad luck inning, which was tough because I was on my couch kind of having weird feelings about Ron. I was like, wait, he's from Jersey? Like, should I love Ron? His kind of weirdo intensity is endearing if he's really good. His weirdo intensity is bad if he's bad. That he gets squibbed and then the run scores on the ground out, and you're like, damn, okay, this Baltimore bullpen, Cano, Bautista, they got their own freaks, but our guy's Diffie. Horrible pitch by Bautista. Judge hits the homer, and Yanks win. Manfred rules.
Yeah, and the big storyline was going to be the DJ Bunt attempt, which is crazy. Is crazy in concept and then in execution. So conceptually, first and third, you're DJ LeMahieu, even in a slump, any ball in the air ties the game. And you just had back-to-back singles, or no, single, Judge grounded out. Rizzo singled off Cano.
Yep.
DJ
And
himself
DJ goes
has
to
just
bunt.
singled.
Yeah, DJ earlier in the game. He's been in a slump, and he had a nice RBI single.
Yeah. The actual thought process, if you want DJ's side, is this is a guy who doesn't induce ground balls. He's got a nasty sinker and a nasty changeup. Both those pitches induce.
He does induce ground balls.
Yeah, induce ground balls, not fly balls. And I'm not fast, so I don't want to hit into an inning double play. And if I do a push bunt and I get it past the pitcher, we can maybe score. The only, especially maybe if it's like, a sneak attack. The only problem is he tries the bunt, doesn't get it down. And then his second attempt, he doesn't get it past the pitcher. Glaber it's not a suicide bunt. It's a safety. So Glaber's not like screaming down the line. And it's just an easy out. And now you don't have the tying run 90 feet away. So like in concept, I disagree with it because try to hit a fly ball or put one in play. It can still help you. And then in execution, you have to like push it so hard to make sure you're like, you could push that and it could end up looking like a baby hit. You could push bunt it so hard. Like it is not a dead in the ball in front of the plate bunt. It's like a fucking bam. And you have to do that. So it was bad. Judge saves him.
Yeah, I mean, Boone in his press conference did everything but say DJ operated alone, and then he tried to half walk it back and kind of did a funny "you'll never know" line, which was like, you already said too much, Pop.
Well, the key on the map there is, did Boone say he called for it? That means he called for it. Did Boone say, I'm not telling? That means he's not telling you that his player acted alone and he disagrees.
Oh, even further than that, he said he said the words like DJ did that before he got to that other part.
Yeah. He said, you'll never know.
Yeah, which that was very like middle school drama by Boone there.
But after he shows bunt once, did he call him off?
I don't know. I mean, it's his call, right? Like, I don't know if they even have like a you can't bunt sign. Like, I don't know if they have that if there's enough fingers or arms to touch. No, I think
you could just yell out, DJ, no.
DJ sits this last game. He's been slumping. It's I don't know. It's worrisome because, like you're saying, they had a little success in that inning, and DJ LeMahieu when he's been right for the Yankees, he's throw the ball in the gap, find the porch, do something, hit a single. Yeah. He used to be our runners in scoring position king of kings. He's batting cleanup that game, right? So. That's and if you want to get into deeper conversations with your buddies about bunting, like you can have them. It seems like analytics got a lot of that stuff right. There's still probably a certain couple times in a game where it's appropriate, but it's also a skill. You need to practice.
I like bunting for a hit.
You need to practice skills and be good at skills to be good at them. Like that's
I like when the third baseman's back and. Rizzo, Oswaldo, Bader, Volpe, lays one down in front of the infield and then gets on. Like the goal is I'm going to bunt for a single here because their defense is giving me it.
Right.
I'm not against that. But yeah, sack bunts, unless it's extra innings, and you start with 0 outs, runner on second, like maybe, but depends on who's up, not DJ.
Yeah.
It's got to be sort of a perfect storm for me to be like excited about that.
I mean, it's got to be like, yeah, it's got to be a game-winning play.
Yeah,
and it wasn't. So, yeah, I mean, Judge bails out the Yankees there, like he often can and does. And then, yeah, the Yankees also bail out Cole, which, again, I thought it was funny with all the fodder, which is good baseball fodder that comes out of game 2, but, nobody was really talking about Cole too much after game 1 when a lot of the conversation moves to Nestor game 2.
Yeah, Cole's earned a bad start, a tough start, I believe.
Yeah, I saw some people were worried he hasn't been striking out as many people, and I mean he was going to come down from April. He was the pitcher of the month.
Yeah, I mean he didn't have any put away, any 2-strike outs on off speed. Put away percentage on all his off speed was 0. Swing and miss on his changeup, he only threw 8 of them. Was 0. And his whiff on the fastball was pretty low. So yeah.
May 5 starts, a 4.67 ERA from Cole.
Yeah, that can happen. That can also happen during a really good year. So, and Cole's very good. I don't know.
Let's have a good start to end the month and make it not a problem.
Yeah, because we have one starter right now, and it's Garrett Cole. So kind of need him to go back to being awesome. Game 2, not a fun one.
Half of it. Yankees would try to go to the winning wells once more against Tyler and the O's. Nestor would hope to crunch the Birds' bottom 3. Gleyber bomb. Torres goes yard. Mountcastle bangs. I bet it's 2-1 Yanks. How are your ghosts of shortstops past IKFHR? So let's have another round of Gleyber bombs. It's 5-1 Yanks, and this one would be, oh no. Yanks give up a snowman. 8 in the 7th. They'd lose a tough one. 9-6 final.
This game, we had, what was it, 2 Boone episodes ago? We had 2 lines of questioning for him and a sharp stat and Boone about Nestor. Third time through the rotation, third time through the lineup. What's up with that? What do we think's happening? And then we also said, are you aware how bad Abreu's numbers are with runners on base when you bring him in? And he said he was aware. The Abreu thing's kind of after this game gets out of hand, so I don't fully care, but it's still like interesting. And the Nestor one's a really good conversation. I don't know if we're having it later. I know we were texting about it a lot in our group, and I kind of went back and forth on it a little, but I have a pretty sound opinion after thinking on it a lot.
Let it rip, Papa.
I read on actually a Reddit thread where like we can't get upset when Boone pulls Herman in the 9th inning at 88 pitches, but then clamor for him to get upset when he doesn't pull Nestor when it finally looks like he's primed to get through the third time. He's at 80 pitches or less. He just struck out 2 batters. He looks really sharp. My final landing point is like, yes, I think if you pulled me right then and there, I'd say, yeah, roll it, put him back out. We're thin, and like, let this be the start where Nestor gets over the hump because he looks like he's ready to get over the hump. He looked really good. And then Nestor doesn't get over the hump of third time through. He gives up the runs. And now we truly have a situation where we need to make changes. We need to save pitches and then bring them out for the third time through. We need to save funk and bring it out. We need to get the legs under him more. We need to attack what the problem is and figure it out, and then suggest and try solutions to get Nestor through. Because now it's more of a thing than it was before. I mean, because he was fucking cruising and then hit a brick wall. So I'm not upset at Boone for keeping him in at all. And it's just like acceptance at this point from Nestor's side, from the pitching side, from Matt Blake is like, okay, this is an actual thing. Let's dive into what we think is the cause.
Yeah, I mean, especially in the past 2 games, Ramirez and Albert Abreu have pitched in those past 2 games. Like the Yankees' deep bullpen is almost deeper on the IL than it is on the Yanks. That, yeah, when Nestor's cruising and you're up 4 runs and he just finished the last inning well and he's at that pitch count, you have to go to him again. The only asterisk that Davis Wimbledon did mention in our Talkin' Yanks chat is if he had a full pregame routine to get started. I don't know if they talked about that at all, because that would be your only rain delay caveat, which a guy who's been struggling the 3rd time through. I don't know if he had started throwing or anything like that, but I don't know. It would be something in the back of my head I'd be curious about. But no, I mean, you have to let Nestor go there. And yeah, I get that's where I don't want to say I wasn't surprised by the second game, but everything that has to be talked about, the Nestor decision, no, you're gonna put him back out there. You're up 4 runs and he just looked good. And then, okay, those first 2 get on. So Frazier, the traditionally light-hitting lefty, is up, and you're like, okay, well, Nestor, this will be your last batter. You know, we got Jimmy Cordero, who has been good for us in the bullpen. You get this lefty, we'll run from there. It's the damn pole. And just like that, it's a 1-run game. Jimmy Cordero, who had been good, was kind of due for a bad outing. He has that. And then we're here. Albert Abreu inherited runners. So everything that was a discussion point didn't not make sense to me. It sucks seeing the other team put a snowman on the board, but it all added up.
Yeah, I know we're talking about this later, but you know that before the home run, that ball, it's smoked. It goes under Volpe's glove. It's 110 exit velo off the bat, but it goes under his glove. Anything on that? Like, are you putting that in the bucket of he should have that? Because last year I'm definitely telling IKF he should have that. So I think I'm putting it under the bucket of Volpe needs to start making some plays, man.
Yeah.
He's hurt. He's hurting his pitchers.
He's feeling it all around. I think in the same way that IKF did last year, that there's pressure that comes with being the Yankee shortstop. It's part of the reason that Jeter had a doc made after him after all was said and done. That yeah, I think it's translating to the other side a little bit. He's still making some nice plays defensively. He had a couple nice stabs and diving plays as well. For me, the bigger concern defensively, like all of it makes sense. Like he kind of looks like a rookie playing defense. There's still highs and lows. The arm is kind of as advertised. Like if we're talking about him later, if Anthony Rizzo wasn't our first baseman, I think we would have started the episode screaming about Volpe because he bounced a couple that I don't know. There was especially one throw. I was really zoomed in on Volpe this entire series, and there was one throw that he kind of got the high hop, and it was a shortstop like, hey, it's time to let that throw eat. And he let the throw eat, and it didn't really eat too much. I think we're going to get it towards the end of the episode, but, some of the big questions about this Yankees team, hey, they just came out of a stretch where they were playing really good ball. This team can play a lot of good ball, but there's still a lot that's got to be figured out, and, he's one of the main culprits.
Yeah. I don't know. There was some good in this game beforehand, but there's some bad.
Glaber 2 homers. How about it?
Not bad.
IKF hot. Cycle watch.
Yeah. IKF slugger. Comfortable. walking around like chest out.
Feeling good. It's good to feel
Should
good.
be. Should be. Anything else? Yeah, that's kind of it. I mean, Nick Ramirez pitched.
By the way, hey, they, the Yanks rally a little in the 7th. I know Givens was wild, but Rizzo flops one out there that if Hayes doesn't trap it, fellas are probably keep running. By the way, after Rizzo, DJ strikes out. Yeah, I don't know. ugly loss.
Yeah. A real bummer of a loss.
Bummer.
8-run inning. All right, let's go to game 3.
A rubber match in the Schmitty that never sleeps. Clark for the Yanks. Well, damn, that's a pretty sick axe, man. Is that a Gibson? Kyle for the Orioles. Like college, we're scoreless through 4. Santander slashes one through the right side. It's 1-0 Birds. Purple haze as Baltimore drinks their wine. Husky Willie Jim Calhoun pushes one across late, but it's another fake shutout for the Yanks as they lose 3-1 final.
Boo.
Yeah.
Boring. Good job, Gibson. Jerk.
Gibby, you've been nice to us, jerk.
Yeah. What gives? Yeah, man. This game sucked. I mean, he gave up a single and then he got like everybody out until the Calhoun hit.
Yeah.
21 in a row or something like that. No, it can't be 21. No, I think it was 21.
It was a lot. It might have been
lot.
21, yeah. Yeah, because it was labor to lead off the game.
Yeah. All right, let's just get to awards because there's big conversations to be had.
Well, Jim, awards are brought to you by Fume. Not everything in a bad habit is wrong. So instead of a drastic, uncomfortable change, why not remove the bad from your habit? It's an innovative, award-nominated flavored air device that helps you do just like that. Instead of electronics, Fume is completely natural. Instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air, and instead of harmful chemicals, Fume uses all natural, delicious flavors. For those watching on the YouTube, I got one in my hand right now. So, we all know stopping is something we all put off because it's hard, but switching to Fume is easy, enjoyable, and even fun. Head to tryfume.com and use code JOHNBOY to save 10% when you get the Journey Pack today. Tryfum.com and use code JOHNBOY. Save an additional 10% off your order. Hey, how about that? There's a link in the description. You know that by now.
The first award we give out here on Talkin' Yanks is Pride of the Yankees.
Pride of the Yankees.
Pride of the Yankees.
Pride of the Yankees.
Yeah.
This is an interesting one, huh, Jim?
Yeah, I have 2 in mind, but I don't know what you're going to take as you get to go first. But I do think there's 2 that shouted out to me.
Huh.
That I feel pride for.
You know what? I'll hit it and quit it.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna do Glaber.
Ooh, not one of my 2, but nice. But I like that.
Glaber had a hit in every game. He had the 2 home run game in what normally would have been a win. Jim, I've got a little dumb one for you, but that's why we do Talkin' Yanks, right?
Let's talk about the Yanks.
On Glaber's 2 home runs, this is so corny, and I don't normally end up here. He hit the ball, and he was running out of the box hard. And I know
you're a corn dog.
It's something, and it's nothing. But from Glaber, a guy that normally gets critiqued a little bit for that, he had the most RBI, the most hits, the most runs, the 2 homers. And hey, he's not one of the bad conversation pieces from this series.
Any mental lapse? Any defensive woes? I'm trying to rack my brain. I can't really.
I don't think so, man. He was really happy. He had the big smile going, which is a clue he's going. And, Jim, you mentioned pride. I mentioned the running out of the box, but also Sharp stats. He kind of build off of that. Katie Sharp kind of said, like, expect even better stuff to come, and it kind of did. So, Gleyber Torres being in the leadoff spot could easily be like a main topic of a Talkin' Yanks episode with a bad series, and I think he deserves a pride.
I think it's a well-earned pride. It wasn't one of the 2 that I was going to give out, but that doesn't mean I disagree with it.
Good.
Because the non-moping and the non-mental errors weren't on my radar because they're usually not. They usually are only on your radar when they happen.
Yep.
Well, I am happy about that. Good job by him.
Good. Glad I could bring that to the forefront, Jim. Who's your pride?
So I got 2 guys that I now wanted to figure out who I'm going to give it to. I'm going to go with Clark Schmidt.
Okay, good.
Now I had said that if they were in a rubber match, you can't start Clark because this team is a ton of lefties, switch hitters, and he has not fared well against lefties. And you should have an opener or do something to help him into the game. When the first inning, he walked the lefty he had the lefty 0-2, and then he walks him to go bases loaded. I was like, oh, shit. This is gonna stank. And he gets out of it. He gets the pop up.
Didn't get helped by Volpe in that inning.
I know Volpe's killing his pitchers. It's not good. And I know he's making good plays, but IKF made good plays last year. But he's still you can't, he's killing he's killing his pitchers. I don't know if that's like it feels like people are suppressing it, and I don't want to be like the guy.
No,
but it's bad. Like pitch count for starters and shit like that. Like it's come on. He went cutter heavy, Clark, in this game. And that's where my they say Clark's cocky. They say he's got all the most cocky, confident guy ever. And for him to say, I'm facing one of the toughest lefty lineups that I've faced yet. And what am I going to do? I'm going to shove the pitch that is stunk versus lefties down their throat more than I ever have. He goes 37% cutter, and he generates 12 swings and miss, 33% called strike and whiff percentage. That's got to be the highest, I think. 4 balls in play on the cutter. I don't know how many hits. I don't have that in front of me. But, yeah, that's cool, man. Shut me up. Great. I'm here for that, because I've been pretty a big one, and just reading the numbers. The lefties were absolutely smoking his cutter. I'm proud that he stuck through with it, that he went at, and he got results because this could be good. Hey, they believe in this cutter. They went through the trials and the errors, and if this is a sign that it can work and he's got it figured out a little bit, then that's awesome because he went cutter heavy against the lineup I was worried about him facing, and he goes 5 innings pitched, 1 earned at the final line, and again he had to throw 12 extra pitches in that first, which he did. Then it's on him. He walked and he got a little whatever. But
I had Clark as the number 2 for the pride. He has to throw those extra pitches in the first, and even the earned run he gives up, pitching and situations matter, and we still don't quantify them perfectly. Even when we do the latent closes and stuff like that, sometimes when we dig into the stats, he was in a mano-to-mano 0-0 game with Baltimore, and he wasn't getting any support. And even the one that gets through, it was a hard hit ball kind of right in the hole. It goes right next to under Rizzo's glove. We were having a conversation in the office. Does a Does a 2016 Rizzo get that or knock it down? I don't know. But either way, the fact that we're talking about that, and now 4 of Clark's starts this month have been 2 runs or less. So, hey, he's still baseball-wise, he's inexperienced or young, that maybe he's turning a corner. Maybe that cutter is a good pitch because a couple of them look good tonight, but I don't know. And
yeah, I mean, visibly, a couple look good, but still, I was like, oh, okay.
Sure.
Worked.
91 if they're missing it. And, again, hopefully the story of this season, and where I feel pretty good about the Yanks because, hopefully as moving parts of this season do get involved, like, I hope to look at our bullpen in a few weeks and there's a, Canley's out there and maybe Hamilton's back and, maybe a couple months down the line, Rodon's throwing and Clark Schmidt is back there and he's a weapon back there that, a lot of the parts used in this series, I think there's a Yankees team down the road that we could say, wow, like look at how those pieces got upgraded since May 25th.
Yeah. Oh, I'm yawning. Sorry, yawning.
It's okay.
Good for Clark. Proud of him.
Got glitchy while you yawned.
Good time.
That's
for the
good.
Glitch.
It was good. Okay.
Hey, he's given the Yanks a chance the last several starts, so good job.
That leads to
You Yankee motherfucker.
the next. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like a treat. Again, we're doing Talkin' Yanks. What a privilege. Two best friends talking about the Yankees. I just referenced a guy running out of the box when he hits homers. How lame is that? I'll take Volpe.
Yeah.
Give me the Fox. And the reason I'm smiling like a little loser right now is he had his first walk-off, but it was such a bad fake extra innings walk-off that even Judge and Rizzo, who wanted to celebrate, were like enjoying the fact that it was like a fake walk-off. Like, this is your walk-off, dude. We've touched on the defense, Jim, and we'll start there. Again, like you said, he's costing pitchers pitches. There's a couple slick ones, but there's a couple not so. And even that doesn't really bother me because there's going to be growing pains. The kid is 21, 22. He just got the call. He's playing shortstop. Like, there's going to be growing pains all around. The glove and fielding, he's more or less passing the eye check of where I think I would have wanted him to be at this point. The throwing arm concerns me. There was a couple plays that I was watching where I was like, damn, Rizzo kind of bailed him out and nobody's talking about him because Rizzo's pretty slick over there. But from scouting reports we heard, there was rumors of a second base arm. I don't know. Base running, he passes that test, but you can't pass that test if you're not on base. And he had no hits in this series. And a couple of the at-bats were really concerning. And I texted you guys during the first night. He had a bat that really grinded my gears, and I think if you were watching loosely, you wouldn't even have been bothered by it. But it's some of the concepts we've been talking about, and it's the reason prospects, there's no such thing as a sure thing in baseball. It's why it just doesn't work like that. Anthony Volpe had an at-bat that I think has worked at previous levels that doesn't work at the major league levels. It was the 4th inning against Bradish in the first game. Ball. So he goes up 2-0. He gets a 4-seamer right down the dick, and he fouls it off. And it's a pitch you got to do damage on. Next pitch, sinker, takes it over the plate. So you just got 2 fastballs over the plate being up 2-0. You missed one, you watched one. Now you're 2-2. Fouls one off, takes a non-competitive ball, so it's a full count. He gets another fastball over the dish, and he puts a kind of a Volpe-ish charge into it. We do like when he runs into a ball, it goes further than you think or passes the eye test. End of the day, it's a lazy fly ball in the majors. Like, it didn't get to the warning track or anything like that. And I think at previous levels with lesser fastballs, I think Volpe puts that swing on it and he gets a better result. But at this level, he will not. So, and from there, the at-bats on a general baseball level got worse. So, I don't know, man. I think the batting average dipped into the ones after his final at-bat today. And he has had a couple moments that have allowed us to extend the rope and bring it back and extend the rope and bring it back. And he's coming up against it again, Jim.
Context is, if we were not a team that wanted to win the World Series this year, you give him the full year and you say, let him develop, let him develop. You have to worry about if you're hurting his development or helping it right now. I mean, 52 games, 181 at-bats, 199 average, 284 on-base percentage, 365 slugging. And he's looking worse. He's looking like he doesn't know who he is as a hitter anymore. The first couple weeks, he was working counts, getting on base, stealing. His swing is off, visibly off. If you go watch the 2-0 pitch Jake's talking about, it's a weird way to foul that pitch off because his swing just kind of is short. And every broadcaster's talking about it because it's like very visible. So still like his long-term future. Melky Cabrera came up, got sent back down, then went on to have an 8-year career, 10, whatever the hell it was. A lot of guys. Mickey Mantle came up when he was 20, get sent back down, then came back up. Like a lot of guys, So I'm not damning his abilities to be a major league player in the future, but I want a guy who can help the team win right now. And, man, we are in the same situation we were last year on the single season front of like, dude, if you don't change now, are you not going to try something if you're like, let's give Volpe to the All-Star break? Okay, what then you're going to, okay, let's give him to them. Okay, but let's give him to them because guess who's fucking crushing it at AAA right now? As Oswald Peraza has a 375 batting average and a 405 on base in his last 11 games, 4 of those being MLB games. So are we not caring about shortstop output this season and just developing Volpe for the next 4 years, 5 years? Because you're coming up against that. You're coming up against that decision. And the fact that his identity as a batter and kind of like what he's trying to do at the dish is getting worse isn't good.
Yes, and I do think it deserves to be said, like, guess what? He's young and a top prospect. The light bulb could go off tomorrow. Like, I was looking at Adley Rutschman and Julio. Like, go look at their first 40 or so games in the major leagues. They're around Volpe, if not worse on some fronts, better on some others.
It's very normal. The Orioles were not trying to be a World Series winning team.
Right, but Adley Rutschman after that started to go. So I think what's interesting is we are hitting a point.
That's what, I agree.
And Anthony
he can go.
Anthony Volpe can absolutely go and get better, and maybe we'll end up laughing at ourselves a little bit that we were concerned. Or I think the part that just kind of went off in my head is that Volpe had been doing enough to pass the tests. Like, I think every time we checked in, we were like, okay, yeah, like, he had that one swing or he had that one game where he stole 2 bags, and we were like, okay, Volpe advanced. This was the first series where it felt like Volpe came up against the wall a little bit, and it was like, well, that's not going to do it. Like, if you're going to have an 0 for 11, which almost every player on the Yankees will have this year, well, then you better be clean in the field, or you better find a way on base so you could use your legs, and that's kind of the next step, right? So, I'm interested to see because, yeah, if Peraza keeps lighting up the world and winning covers everything, that's why we haven't talked about a lot of these concerns in the past couple weeks. And, Volpe even had a couple moments in there, but, yeah, it's the conversation has begun.
Yes, the conversation has begun. The slash line's horrible. And now the feeling's horrible. When he came up in the game 3, the extra innings, I was just like, nah. First pitch, fly ball. I think he needs to start hitting it on a line.
You'd like to see some line drives.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm starting to get worried about, like, this year. And they've put themselves in a pickle with Peraza and Volpe and all of it. Because, they passed up on a lot of shortstops.
That's where, my new phrase that I've been using is the Star Wars Yankees, that they've, the kid from Jersey, shortstop, love Jeter, they've already written some checks that, if we get to a point where the kid's having a bad time out there, and he's kind of being forced to be out there because he's from New Jersey and he's Italian, then I'm gonna be off kilter about my Yankee fandom because that's not how this works.
Yeah, well, money, money, money.
Who did you say was your MFer?
Nestor. I mean, I unless I'm like missing something. I was gonna go DJ as well. But I'll go Nestor. Figure it out, man. Like, first step is admitting you got a problem. So we need you to come to grips with this. It is not short sample. It's not happenstance. I mean, it is sure fucking fire. That third time through, you're getting rocked. So let's do something different. Let's make attempts to change things.
Okay.
Because we say Volpe should come up with that ball, and that might help, but it's still 110 exit velo.
Right.
It's still rocked.
Yeah, that one is a very hard one. But
yeah, I think good shortstops make that.
Yeah.
Like the top.
Like IKF, they were using that excuse on balls like 99, 100.
Yeah, I mean, and like last year was the first. IKF was the awakening of scorekeepers just not doing errors anymore. Like, I mean, it was us on this podcast for me, but it was also Kay in the booth. It was across baseball.
Around
they were
baseball,
like,
yeah.
oh, I guess errors are not as common anymore. And this year they're doubling down on it. So, like, yeah, that's weird. What we've known as an error our whole lives changed last year. And like, they must have silently told the scorekeepers, if it's 100 exit velo or more, it's a hit.
And we saw, even the Blue Jays series a week ago, we saw them like waiting because they want to see how the rest of the inning played out. So I think there's even more funny business going on than that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's Nestor, but I understand your reasoning.
A candidate. The third time through things officially.
It's official.
A problem.
Yeah. So I don't trust him as a starting pitcher anymore. He's a bulk guy. And I liked trusting him as a starting pitcher and go 3 times through. Starting pitcher goes 3 times through. Top 1, 2, or 3 on a playoff team goes 3 times through. We currently have 1 guy.
Damn foul pole.
Hit hard.
Wrong stadium, wrong time. Sorry, Nestor.
Yeah. I mean, he's not having a good season.
No, I think, Cole had a worse start than him. And
he's allowed to have a worse start.
Cole's month isn't as good as I think you're playing out in your head. That I don't know.
You're worried about
Team
Cole?
won that game.
You're
I'm not worried about
Cole.
Cole, but
Okay.
I also I don't know.
You're not worried about Nestor?
Obviously the third time through stuff isn't great, but I think if you could, I think the bodies that ended up following him out of the bullpen and like that home run is a home run at 2 stadiums. That I don't know. It sucks and it's not good, but
Those are the state, but now it's just such an issue. Like moving forward.
yeah,
It's an actual issue. Like what, Cordero getting blown up, whatever.
He was good the next day, so
yeah.
Not part of the postseason
Cordero.
success. Nestor's supposed to be our 2 in the playoffs, or 3.
4.
Or
I mean, I like a healthy Sevy over Nestor.
yeah. Regular old awards.
Regular awards are brought to you by Manscaped. If you haven't already heard, the leaders in below the waist grooming, where I specialize, they're traveling north of your South Pole, where Jimmy specializes, with their revolutionary Beard Hedger Pro kit. And they've got a new Weed Whacker 2.0 for that nose and ear hair, because nobody's into that. And maybe a couple, but nobody's really into that. And upgrade your toolbox by going to manscaped.com and using code YANKS for 20% off plus free shipping. They've also got their beard shampoo and conditioner, beard oil, beard balm. Ooh, 20 haircutting lengths. Manscaped and their Performance Package 4.0 for the full body grooming experience. So, code YANKS, manscaped.com, 20% off and free shipping. The right tools for the job with Manscaped. Click the link in the description.
thanks, Manscaped.
Thanks, Manscaped. Your first award?
James, my first award is the Congrats on the Promotion Award.
Congrats on the promotion. Nick Ramirez, because now he's going to be getting key innings.
Jimmy might be sent down in a minute.
He was sent down about 20 minutes ago.
That's a sick award.
Wrong. Jim, it's going to IKF. He's laughing. He's having fun. He's bubbly. He's like the cruise director that handed it over to Tom in Succession. He's like, congrats, kid. Now you got all the pressure, and you got all the people looking at you.
Yeah.
I'm just going to come in here and rake, because that's who I am. Daddy Biceps is here. Hawaiian Hustle.
Oh, my God. Remember when he said that was his nickname?
Triple and a homer. Tasting himself. Feeling good. And laughing at all the stress and everything Volpe has to go through. So
I was going to give him the Jake and Makeup Award. He's finally comfortable. He finally this is my role. This is where I fit. Use me in a bunch of different spots under the radar. I mean, I don't think the money tied to his role matches, but I shouldn't care about the Yankees' money. They have unlimited. Very happy with him in his role, and won me over because I still wasn't sure halfway through. But this stretch, damn man, I wish you popped some of these homers last year. Would have been nice, but it's pretty cool to see. Like, man, that homer in game 2 was cool. Like, I think that might be the first cool homer. His first homer last year at Fenway was, Fenway. The short porch, seen, short porch homers. It's, whatever. That one was like turned on.
He looked kind of swaggy on that one.
Almost
Yeah, like he looked like Jake in makeup. So, yeah, good award.
He almost went to center, and Paul O'Neill, it's been beautiful to have him back in the booth because I just forget how amazing he is with words in the least amazing way ever. And he's like, IKF, he can't go out to center here, but he goes off the wall. And it's just like, man, that's so cutting for a guy that just hit like a ripped 400-foot triple, man. And yeah, it's, again, the pressure is a privilege, as our friend Gareth has talked about. In 129 starts it took 129 starts last year. IKF had 3 home runs. In his 130th, he got his 4th. He's just had 3 homers in his last 4 starts. So, how do you like that?
Power award.
Power.
Good for IKF. Shit, where do I want to go?
If you want, I can procrastinate a little bit because it does deserve to be mentioned, especially in lieu of the Aaron Hicks news and all the Yankees PR around that like you mentioned IKF in his role, that like he acknowledged, he's like, yeah, I didn't earn the shortstop job back from last year, and I'll do whatever the team wants, and that's been his attitude from the start. That
was his attitude at the All-Star break last year.
Yeah.
I mean, they reported on that.
Yes.
He said, like, guys, I need help. And the Yanks were like, nah, go out the short.
Nah.
He was like, this is the worst I've ever felt defensively. That's the quote he said at the All-Star break last year. And they're like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We got some kids coming up. Okay.
I was procrastinating for you, but then you got involved. You got excited.
Yeah. I was going to combo.
Okay. First
an
award.
The Indians Grounds Crew Award.
Guardians or Indians?
Indians Grounds Crew
Sheesh.
Award. Movies from 89 or whatever.
So you're going to go to, I mean, that makes me.
It's 2 and 1's already got an award, and I can't change that.
I mean, is it Rortvedt and Ramirez?
No.
Okay.
Oswaldo, actually, maybe not even names. Maybe it's left field and shortstop, but Oswaldo and Volpe.
Okay.
It's the Major League when the grounds crew is they're shitty, and then next year or whatever, like they're still shitty. I mean, dude. Oswaldo's worse than Gallo was, and I think Volpe's worse than IKF was at this point last year. And what the hell was I doing last year? In the middle of a really good Yankees team, screaming, you guys got to address this before the postseason. And now the team's worse, the outlook's worse, and the positions are worse. Yikes.
Outlook's worse and the positions are worse.
This time last year, the Yankees were 50 and 20 or whatever the fuck it was. They were really good.
Right.
Gallo had better stats than Cabrera. IKF had better stats than Volpe. And I thought that team was going to win the World Series. In May last year, I was like, this team's great. Only thing you got to do is fix these 2 spots. So, still shitty.
I was hoping the quote you were referencing was the "Who are these effing guys?" And you've been kind of hitting that with Ramirez and Rortvedt because that one always makes me laugh for Major League. Yeah, it's the course of baseball is interesting, and I'm excited to see what these Yankees do because it's so funny that they got off to like a much better start than the Rays got to, and the Rays have gotten the most press ever about their start. And then obviously August happened and everything leveled out. The Yankees are 30-20 right now, which, quick math on that would be 60-40. I think they're on pace for 90-something wins, and they have had some serious holes, which I'll say this. I mean, I'm not giving up on Volpe. Like, I still think the outlook for him this year at shortstop looks good. He's shown enough spark for a kid that I'm not like, whoa, when IKF was very much playing up to who his baseball card said he was, that that position needed to change, and there wasn't an outlook on it. We were calling for kids. So now at least the kids are kind of in play. Left field, yeah, I think the Yankees thought that they'd have their full-blown Yankee magic kick in, and we'd either be wearing Jake Bauers jerseys or Oswaldo necklaces, or, I don't know, watching Willie Calhoun get after it. But there's not an answer currently. And yeah, I don't know what that's going to be. I think, Donaldson's rehabbing, and you start mixing in IKF, Oswaldo, Bauers, and you see if something clicks, but clearly they'll be looking for that at the deadline. And hey, a true corner outfield rental at the deadline, you don't have to pay a real price tag for, and you can hopefully get.
There's not a lot available. They're going to need a pitcher.
We'll see.
I mean, last year on this May 25th, it was a Wednesday, and the Yankees just finished a series win versus the Orioles. Yeah. Not bad. And on that day, IKF was 255 batting average, 305 on base. And yeah, Volpe's 199, 284.
Slugging's way up from what IKF.
Slugging's 365. IKF was 299. So 604 OPS, 649 OPS.
Not
and
too
Gallo,
far.
Yeah, well, Gallo is pretty fucking bad. Wait, maybe Oswaldo's better than Gallo.
Volpe's not better enough than IKF than what I want, but it is
Oswaldo's
better
worse.
than IKF.
Oswaldo's worse than Gallo
Both
on these
holes.
dates.
I think Gallo had run into enough homers to probably be better than what we've gotten from Oswaldo so far.
He had a 324 slugging, and Oswaldo's got a 301. But the Yankees were 32-13.
Those were the only two problems.
Sears pitched 5 shut.
Mm.
I didn't think we needed pitching at the deadline that much. They traded away two potential starters. There was some at bats in the series. Who was it? It was one reliever in game 2, I think, where Bader, Volpe, Oswaldo was hitting from the right side, had the same swing, the three of them. I couldn't tell it apart. I was like, wait, I thought this was Volpe and it was Bader. And I was like, okay. And it was the same pitch that guy I wish I remember the pitcher was throwing, and they were just swinging over it. It was like a slider in or something. They were just all swinging over it. It was the same like choppy, bad swing. They just looked the same. I was like, damn, this pitcher is inducing the same swing. But yeah, I don't know. That's the part where, I was feeling great last year. Hopefully come August this year, I'm feeling better than I was last year.
Balance in this world.
Sometimes how baseball works, Jim.
Yeah, they need a lot. Eat a
lot. Good award. All right, I'll give my award to a couple guys. I'm just gonna give the What's that stuff called, Jim?
Goo?
No.
Goo gun? When you need to get stains out and shit?
We can give the Gugan Award.
Gugan Award?
The Gugan Award.
Calhoun.
Ooh, James. My goodness. You thought
You
both?
like Calhoun. You're the biggest Calhoun liker on the whole show.
So why would it be Gugan? Why would he be Gugan?
Well, because Gugan's an amazing product that everyone should have in their cabinets.
Oh,
Gugan's badass.
I thought you were referencing a second guy who may be off the team for my award guesses. No, it's going to the magic eraser himself, Harrison Bader. The offensive stats were going to come down. But my goodness, there was a couple balls in center field that if Judge or Hicks were our center fielders, I think these games would have gotten out of control. And instead they were casual, like effortless catches. And I was laughing in tonight's game, I believe there was a ball into the gap that it was going to be caught, probably. And it looked like it was going to be 50-50 between the left fielder and Bader. And the left fielder just dipped and was like, "Oh, I'm good." Like if he's in the area code, it's his, and it continues to be tremendous to watch.
The Gugan Award, very similar to the If I Wrote a Katy Perry Song Award.
Different.
Same guy for the same reason.
Same guy got the award, 1,000%.
Yeah. What do you like better, Katy Perry songs or Gugan?
Probably Katy Perry songs.
You're sleeping on Gugan.
Never used it.
Really?
Yeah, man.
BBD, you ever used it?
I don't think I've Guganed.
Oh. You guys should, like, pour sap all over your clothes. I don't know.
Stop
getting some
referencing
sticky
sap.
shit.
Actually, I think we did use it in my house once. In what was our like playroom as a kid, we had a bunch of stickers on the wall, and then one day when we were like 12, my mom was like, "All right, this is becoming like a real den," so we had to get the stickers.
Oh yeah, it's like the premier sticker remover for sure.
Yeah, that's what we
especially if you
used.
like bumper stickers on cars and stuff. There's got strong smell.
Yes,
It's kind of crazy, and like no one thinks about the name. No one like really slows it down and thinks some men and women in a room like, what should we call our thing? And he said, "Goo God."
What's it get rid of?
Well, what's it do? Well, it gets rid of the goo. Yeah.
The goo's gone.
Yeah.
Man.
It smells like orange.
Oh, it's citrus power.
It's citrus, but like
citrus.
death citrus.
It removes sticky, gummy, gooey problems. So it's goo gone.
ZBRR in the chat, still mind blown that I said Yennier Cano sucks.
Oh boy.
Sorry. What's he done lately?
Award? What's your last award, Jim?
Just gets hit. What's that?
What's your last award? Most prestigious award of the
Yennier
episode.
Cano sucks award.
Oh, there it is. Who's that going to?
That's actually going to go to Judge for
Clay
getting a hit
Holmes?
off Bautista.
Cano walked him. First walk.
Scared.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll give Judge the award. It's called Yennier Cano sucks, and
I'll
it's
guess Judge.
What's that?
I'm guessing Judge.
Good. The delay on my end is a little nuts right now, so I keep missing what you're saying. But it's because my internet is I'm stealing from my neighbor. Yennier Cano is so good, and if you look at his two seam and his changeup, go look at like Pitch Ninja and stuff, it's like absolutely amazing combination. But he represents all the relievers out there that are supposed to be so good, and then Judge homers off him. And he didn't get Yennier, but he'll get him. bring me your best reliever. It's like the opening scene from Troy, right?
Right.
Like they say, bring me your best man. And whoever they bring out, Judge just wakes up from his slumber, stabs him in the neck, and then says, who's next, losers? This guy stunk. So, good shit.
The Troy Award goes to Judge. While we're wrapping up, and see if you got anything else you want to touch on. By the way, Clay Holmes, our most rested reliever, comes in for Austin Hayes, gives up the double / foot inches away from a homer that makes it 3-0. That, by the way, let's just say in another world, Clay Holmes induces a double play ball or just gets the 2 outs and the rest of the game played out swimmingly. We could have still been playing baseball. If the Yankees would have tied it up in the 9th with Slick Willie Calhoun, it would have been a 1-1 game. So that gets overlooked because the offense was so clearly sad, but like, come on.
How did that ball get down?
It hit the top of the wall. The Clay Holmes.
Yes. I was putting James to bed and I heard it. And then I heard them say, no, it's not gone. But I didn't see the replay of it.
Yeah.
But
Barely.
how about you? How about Clay Holmes hurting Rortvedt because Rortvedt blocked it with his arm?
Yeah.
Just be cool, Ben.
Yeah, that was I think that was Rortvedt trying to get the narrative back to like he's a biceps, like ripped up guy.
Yeah, I don't got these muscles for nothing. Higgy tries to do that arm snaps. Meanwhile, Higgy's in the back of the clubhouse just like shredding on the guitar, not caring at all. This is a little too much for me. I don't need that. I don't need that energy. That's Russell Martin energy behind the dish, and I didn't like it. Don't be throwing your bare arm into a ball, blocking it, and then coming out of the game. Like, if you do that, you have to stay in the game.
Well,
because no one's asking you.
That was Boone pinch hitting for him.
Exactly.
Okay.
Technically wasn't Boone. Boone ejected, which I don't think we...
Mendoza.
I don't remember if we fully...
Boone, what up, dog? Thought you didn't want to get ejected anymore.
Thought you hated getting fined, man.
He hates these rookie umps, dude.
Yeah.
The umps said to him, the umps get mad when you go look at the data and then you come back and like, oh, I just checked it and you were wrong. Like, that's an automatic ejection when players do that. Like, and so Boone was like, I just checked, it's 4. And the umps said, yeah, because you got to see it. And Boone, you can kind of hear it, and he's just like, I fucking said it in live time. I fucking said it in live time. Boone's like that matters in the stupid world of them arguing.
Right.
It's like, no, not only I said it in live time that you were bad, man. I didn't need the data. I was all over you. I was all over your ass the whole time. Like, yeah, Mood, that's why you got ejected, dude.
Yeah,
you're all over him the whole time.
Him saying again, I shouldn't have been ejected. It's like, Boone, I think you're maybe somewhere your wires are getting crossed, man. Because
no, it's these. I don't know if that ump's a rookie, but there's like 15 rookie umps this year. And if you read Dale Scott's book, I love Dale Scott. He talked about at his rookie years the importance of ejecting managers early in the season. So we're just seeing all these young umps, like, they're basically. When Noah Syndergaard walked into the Mets locker room and who was it, Roach or someone played like a prank on him and he like punched him in the face. He was like, not fucking here, dude. You're not treating the rookies like that. Like, that's what these umps are doing. All these young umps trying to stand their ground right away. And Boone is getting so mad. He's like, wants to preach at him so bad. You need to get better.
Yeah, and he has the smallest zone of any umpire.
Dude, go fuck yourself. I know there's always got to be a smallest zone of every umpire, but if he's excited about that, boo. Why do we have umpires with zones?
We won't soon, Jim.
Oh, yeah. Dude, he's probably so proud of that. Well, I run a tight zone. Okay, loser.
I've got a smaller zone.
Oh, you give it on the black? Not me. Nah, tight zone guy. He probably thinks of himself the same way like a sidewinder thinks of him. Like, I do it a little different, you know. It's like actually how I got promoted. I stood out. Like they needed there's a 5% of the umps need to be tight zone guys, and I thought I'd be the best at that.
They want more offense. You have a tight zone. Boom.
Yeah, more 2021 offense, Yankees offense. Boring. Okay. Goodbye. Go Yanks, Tom Grams.
Go Yankees.